Hey guys, this is our first attempt at recording a podcast. This was kind of impromptu. Our good friend Mikey from Vancouver used to live in Calgary here. He happened to be in town the night that we wanted to do a test. Callie wasn't there. She was working, slaving away.
I was.
So our partner in crime, Alexander the Russian, who is actually a very pivotal point of this this whole project as well, he stepped in and was a guest or a guest host.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see lots of him, of course. He's kind of the ace in the hole with this whole project. Of course, lack of format. This was just a test. Like, we didn't really take it very seriously. We got hammered and just shot the shit just so that we could get a handle on audio recording. And yeah, we had a little bit of problems with video.
Yeah, the video camera filled up the SD card, so some of the video is missing at the end. But we wanted to release it anyways because the content was absolute gold. So,
all right.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
And we're back! Mike Banner here, coming to you live from Tanner's basement, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We got Tanner Cherry and Alex the Russian. We're going to be getting
has
really
taken
stupid.
over duties as the host.
I'm the host.
When the guest
Unofficial.
becomes the host,
The shit has been hijacked.
Hey. If
all
the
good.
shoe fits, drink it, right?
yeah, it's the
Whatever.
Bubba Sport mug, football mug. How many beers you got in that thing?
Enough to kill a rhino.
Dave says that he better be wearing that fucking hat. That's what he said to you.
What hat?
I don't know.
Oh shit! Did he give me a hat? Was I supposed to... So yeah, I'm wearing the hat.
I can't.
I'm wearing.
I can't very well lie.
I don't even know
I'm a
what-
Christian.
I'm pretty sure.
Traditionally raised,
I'm pretty
highly
sure.
conservative.
Highly conservative.
Pretty sure he's talking about my party hat. Actually, no, I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, I'm wearing the
He's
hat.
talking about.
I'm wearing the hat. The hat's
I
on.
could reply to
my
him, but
hat.
is that uncouth?
No,
to-
leave him hanging.
Well, I guess vicariously,
A future guest and
Longwalkshortdock is
shit.
part of this podcast.
You
Yeah,
should tell him that he's not allowed to have any naps
I'm
tonight.
gonna tell him you have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah. Yes, I'm wearing the hat. No, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about, but it's a sick hat.
He has no idea what you're talking about.
You could recollect that story with the boots and the punk rock rules.
What about if you gave me a really sick hat and I don't even know? Like,
Man, you would just be the biggest dickhead.
I know, right? Like, what about if he did give me the sickest fucking hat, you know?
Oh shit! I totally forgot that we were supposed to.
Visuals.
Whoops.
Yeah, we're supposed to be watching some kind of animals fucking or some
Nature.
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 The animal kingdom.
So, how's your stay in Calgary?
It's going really well, except for I can't seem to get into any party,
Yeah, well,
and it's cold.
you know what? It's not your fault.
Must be winter or
It's not
something.
my fault.
That venue change tonight was a little. I mean, just Calgary's getting hammered. We're just getting slammed. So.
Just like your mother, Trebek.
Suck it. I'm pretty confident that we could probably get you a ticket in the next 2 hours.
Speaking of getting hammered in Calgary.
Behind schedule.
Whiskey! Cheers, guys.
Well, okay, so Mikey,
Yeah.
you used to live in Calgary.
Yeah. 5 years ago.
I know you through my wonderful fiance who can't be here tonight.
God rest your soul.
God rest
She's at work. Dark.
Yeah, she's at work.
She's dying at
slaving
work.
away, probably burning herself on hot grease.
Probably. Definitely. Women can't cook.
She can cook quite fucking well. I'm
I know.
impressed.
I know.
She's been slaying the dragon. Anyway, met her. Well, I was gonna say met her through you, but no, it's not. I met
me
you
through
through
her.
her. And then you fucked off. You just left us.
I went to pursue my dream
Yeah.
as a sound tech.
A sound tech.
And it was
Is that
actually-
why you went out to Vancouver?
Yeah, that's originally why I went out and I attended a year at Pavi,
Yeah.
and then I was a sound tech, and it was actually really cool. But like the first gigs that we got were so bad. Like I remember this one that we had. It was at this place called the Wise Hall in Vancouver.
The Wise Hole.
Wise Hall. And so
Wise
they,
Hall.
they had this thing called
Wise Hall.
Pecan, and we didn't know anything about it. All we got was that it was this party called Pecan, and we're like, oh, it can't be that bad. Pecan stands for the Pacific Canadian Alliance of Nudists. So
So
basically,
there's a lot of dick.
I'm not even joking. We set up the sound. All they wanted was one mic and a little bit of backlighting and stuff like that. We're like, easy. We're sitting up in the sound booth. All of a sudden, floods of naked old men, okay? I mean, floods, okay? Show up naked as fuck, and I'm not even joking. All they had were like fanny packs off to the side. Like, not covering their junk, but like off to the side. So it's like, you know? And we're like sitting here at table level.
Goods.
Just like, we're sitting here at table level, and every once in a while a naked guy would like walk up and he'd be like, you guys need anything? And there'd be old bird just like stuck in our fucking face. And we're just like... And then, I'm not even joking, to add insult to injury, they put on what we thought was UFC at the very beginning. We thought it was some kind of like stage cage fighting, which ultimately turned into a hardcore gay video where there's dudes blowing each other and punching each other. And my buddy...
So you were doing sound for this?
Yeah, and my buddy yelled out extremely drunk that he's seen this porno before.
No!
Yeah, we used to get a lot of really, really bad gigs. We used to not get paid for, like, all of them.
Yeah.
all the drinks you want, and all the, you got a lot of pull.
Oh, you're working for exposure. Right?
More or less, right?
It'll put your name out there, yeah.
Yeah.
And exposure was exactly what they received.
Yeah, exposure was exactly what you were getting.
And it was, at the end of the day,
Saw a lot of pecans that night.
At the end of the day, it was like I was just wrecking myself, so I decided to go back to school and try some new stuff.
What'd you do?
Oh, it was cool. I actually in March of last year, my friends and I, about 11 of us, were living in a house, and we fell victim to a house fire. And
No way.
all of us lost all our stuff.
What happened?
We were actually living with an old producer named DZ. Mm-hmm. He lost his full studio. My buddy lost all of his vinyl collection. I lost my computer. A lot of my like personal effects and stuff like that, stuff that I made, art. Basically, it's just a candle that was left on a nightside table when we were sleeping, and blanket hit it, knocked it over. It was a complete freak accident. But after that, I went through a weird stage of like Xanax and PTSD and all this shit. And then I went to a barber shop one day, and I'm not even joking, I got the sickest haircut I ever got, and I felt like $1 million after that. I was like, I feel like I could tackle the world, like honestly. So
that's kind of cool, man. Inspiration can come in like the weirdest shreds of
5 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to tell you that I wanted to be a barber.
Yeah,
honestly. Yeah.
I know, and like that's just being around somebody that inspires you, right?
Yeah.
Like the person that you cross paths with, that happened to like spark this. Like, holy shit, that was like a fantastic interaction.
And I mean,
super cool.
In our scene, you have everyone around you. You either have DJs, you have lighting guys, you have MCs, you have something that's all part of like a niche market, but nobody really expands beyond that. So it's kind of hard to fucking gain inspiration from people that are really doing the same thing, right? Like you can't find what you want to do. Like I tried the DJ route, and I tried a lot of things musically, and it wasn't. I found that it was taking from me. Like even working as a chef, it was like I did all this stuff, and at the end of the day, there was like no thank you. There was no like reciprocation. I didn't get that feeling of like.
Or like building on where you're at, right? Like taking you somewhere.
Yeah, and it's like now as a barber, I've got like people like throwing shout outs to me on Facebook. I've got people being like it's just. It's a really good experience. It's a really good feeling, like making somebody feel like $1 million. Like there's a lot of
making them look like a sexy bitch.
That's what I do, man. I make people go from fucking Forrest Gump to Donald Trump.
I don't know if that's much of an upgrade.
Doesn't speak much to your credibility.
I think that's actually going the other way.
Let me rephrase that. You come in here, you look like a jerk. You leave,
and
you're still a jerk,
jerk,
but you look fucking great.
Best looking joke I ever saw.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm actually doing a lot of really cool stuff with my haircut.
You said you're working with like charities and stuff?
Yeah, I'm actually in Vancouver. I'm working with Syrian refugees that are coming over. There's a refugee center that's going to be built in Surrey, BC.
Yeah.
And once a week on Sundays, I'm going to be going there with my friends for about 8 hours. My friends from school, and we're going to be cutting hair. And that's just completely donating our time, like making people look fresh. Welcome to Canada, How
did you score that gig?
Through my friend at school. My friend lives in Surrey. He works with a community center that's sponsoring the refugees and stuff. So he's basically signed us all up without talking to us about it. Which I'm cool with. I'm totally cool, man. I'm
like it's a good cause like
you
that.
come to a new country, you gotta have a sick haircut. And then
fully support this endeavor just for the fact that Syrian refugees are going to come to our country looking for refuge.
Yeah. We're gonna give
and
it to
you are
them.
going to be one of the first faces that they see. My friend,
Break
Mikey,
him in.
Well, Mikey Vengeance, a.k.a. Mikey Bender.
Mike Bender.
A.k.a. your real name, Mike.
My real name is Mike Waite.
Mike Waite, right.
Slave name.
Slave name. Anyway, yeah.
And then,
seriously, like, if you were the first person I met coming into this country, that's like standing in line for a roller coaster. It's like, I know I'm in for a ride.
but it also helps drop the stigma. I mean, in a lot of Saudi Arabian cultures and stuff like that. Like, if you have tattoos and if you express yourself differently, like there's a stigma attached to that. I mean, if you come to a new environment and there's no hostility and there's no bullshit, and then you get to meet somebody and they're cutting your hair and they're like, you know, engaging with you and like, you know, trying to make you feel welcomed. You're like, holy shit, like.
Yeah, that's the most, like, the prominent point is that you're trying to make them feel welcome. Everybody's banding together to reach out to be like, come on in.
We're here to help you.
I'm actually really surprised how much stink is going on with this refugee thing.
It really pisses me off the way some people
feel
feel
such
like
a problem with it?
The way people feel like, oh well, fuck off, we're full of like if you.
We have the same. Canada
so
has the
much
same
land mass.
population as California.
Let me give
we
you.
are not full by any means.
Let me give you a little hint, okay? We're immigrants too.
Yeah, right. Fucking Christopher Columbus, man. He should not even have a day.
If you don't want people to immigrate to your country, well, maybe you shouldn't vote people into power that are bombing their country. Straight up. They wouldn't have to leave if their place wasn't war-torn to shit. Yeah, that's just the straight...
Well, I think a lot of it kind of stems from just fear and stuff, like, you know, in case the bad apples kind of seep in with the good ones or whatever, right? But
yeah, it kind of relates to, like, Donald Trump being all like, oh, we need to ban Muslims because of a couple. Right?
Yeah.
We need to ban rich
just
people.
a blanket
Well,
policy.
I don't think people would be as much in a stink about Syrian refugees if there wasn't such a stink on social media. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like it's
a lot of bandwagon jumping and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of bandwagon jumping, a lot of, like, as it's been coined, like, recreational outrage. People just
like, you don't actually have
taking
an opinion,
a piss just because it's like something that fills their time, something that they get off on. They just like fucking having getting steamed up about something. It's recreational outrage. It's total bullshit. Like, go to bed.
Gets enough internet, go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, another thing I'm really excited to announce too is here in Calgary there's a lady named Misty Winds and she's converted her van to look like
Misty Winds?
Yeah. And basically her whole story is rather than go out on her 30th birthday, like go partying, she took like the last bit of her money and she just bought like a old camper van and converted it into a hair salon, like a makeshift hair salon. Yeah, right?
Cool.
So I'm working with this lady tomorrow. I'm going to donate 2 or 3 hours of my time and go down to the drop-in center and she's going to pull up her van out front. And we're just going to pump out haircuts. Like, that's my way of like changing the world, one haircut at a time. Because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. When you do good, the world's good. And that's fucking...
Take some video with your phone.
Absolutely.
Of like what you're doing and we'll throw it at the end of the podcast or something.
Absolutely, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
With some like really fluffy music to make it look like a, you know.
Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
No, that's our copyright infringement. That'll definitely get us pulled from YouTube for sure. Like that'll.
I'm pretty sure that Seal isn't in any financial problem to sue us right now.
No, I know, but YouTube's an asshole.
Well, Tanner and I could just record a very sweet, fluffy, as you said, a cappella track.
Right, we could just do
I can play
a lot of oohs and ahs.
I can play piano really
Angelic
well.
choir.
You do the ooze. I will slay the Oz.
Yeah. I can play piano. I'm really good at it.
Yeah, well, actually, that fucking surprised me. How long have you played piano?
I've never taken a music lesson in my life. I
Really?
literally sat down one day. When I first moved to Vancouver, I didn't know a single person. I had $20 in my backpack, and I started staying at this place called Covenant House, which was like a youth kind of like shelter, but they kind of like help you out within a couple weeks, get like established, and it's like super clean, but. I'm kind of like a loner sometimes, so I used to just sit in front of the piano for like hours and hours and hours and just like just play and just like feel it and just like I don't know, man, like you don't play the piano, man, like the piano plays you, like it's totally based on your emotions and like how you feel. Where's all these animals, Tanner?
I don't know. I'm sorry. This is
It's all dim.
I feel like
this is a test.
I feel like if Tanner
What the hell's going on
here?
here? Why is it all?
Well, you know,
Why is it
because you're in a bat cave right now.
Yeah, apparently.
You know what they call bats, right? Chicken of the Cave.
Chicken of the Cave. I'm so glad that came out. Fuck's sakes.
Chicken of the Cave.
Wow, beer and chicken.
Here, you guys converse. I will fix this bullshit visual going on. We're just gonna.
Well, shit. But yeah, I totally know what you mean with like the whole the piano plays you type thing. Because like same thing with like you sit down with the guitar and sometimes you don't even you may not even have any like music theory or whatever. You just kind of start fucking around, moving your fingers around. And if you have a good ear for stuff, you know, you're like, oh, that sounds good. That sounds not so good. And then
If you can understand rhythm and if you can understand patterns, then I'm pretty sure you can teach music to yourself. Yeah. Maybe not crazy progressions and scales, but you can figure out some basic.
Well, a lot of it is
structure,
like
you know?
having a good ear for stuff. Like it's called like I guess passive learning or something akin to that, where you're passively absorbing stuff like music as you just listen to it. Right, and then eventually later on it'll come out through your own playing if you choose to express yourself that way or whatever, and then.
And it's like with learning anything, it's like snowball effect. If you just like stick at it, if you don't let that rhythm break, like you're gonna figure it out.
It'll branch out.
Yeah, no, it was okay. It was before you were there. We were at Axe Music, and he's just like, "Where's the piano room?" And I kept like going to all the other rooms, and he's just like, "Where's the fucking piano room?" I could tell that he just wanted to like blow my mind. Sits down at a piano and just starts like. Laying into this beautiful fucking I was like, what the fuck? Mikey Vengeance. Mikey Bender.
Mr. Bender.
Wait, okay, so Scumbag Barber. The Scumbag Barber of East Van is the name that you've been going by. You said you wanted to change it?
Well,
Do you still want to plug the Scumbag Barber?
I'm still a Scumbag Barber, yes. 100%. And covered in tattoos. I drink whiskey at work and everything. The only reason why I'm changing the name is because I don't live in East Van anymore.
Shit. There's a fucking hole in that plan.
My girlfriend and I, we were planning to get a place somewhere around Kitts or West Van or something like that. Somewhere schwanky.
Yeah.
I'm all about the
surrounded by hipsters.
Somewhere swifty.
Somewhere swifty, schwanky, a little bit of dank.
Yeah.
Mostly schwank.
Dave says wrong, Mikey.
Bender.
Yeah.
Say Bender.
He says I was thinking Mikey Demented.
Ha! You mean retarded Mikey?
That doesn't really narrow things down.
There's a lot of oddball
you mean
Mikeys out
retarded
there.
alcoholic Mikey? Yeah, I know that guy. He used to be my roommate. He
says it's Saturday. It's a fucking danger zone. Okay.
You said me?
No, he said it's Saturday. It's a danger zone.
Yeah, danger zone, Dave.
I think he expects you to come.
I'm pretty sure we need to get me into that show tonight.
Yeah.
Come on, let's fucking squad up. Squad!
Squad. No, I'm pretty sure we can do it. If these leopards or cheetahs would like to, help us.
Yeah, anytime now, leopard.
If you rode into
Snakes
a show
here.
on a cheetah, I'm pretty sure that.
And we're back!
If only that was just like just.
Do you guys want to do
Give
some
you-
shots?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, let's do some shots. Studio shots. I'm gonna drink out of the bottle because
you're a classy
Okay,
bitch.
well, I'm gonna just be careful because. Whatever.
you want a fully?
No, I'm good. I was just saying, like, if we get whiskey all over my Andrew Jones banner, I'm gonna be pissed. But
Sick. Listen, Osmosis Jones. Fuck off. To Whoopi Goldberg.
cheers.
I don't know why, but
She's a good woman with
good
no
woman.
eyebrows.
And we're back.
We go straight Barry White after this whiskey shot.
What about if I
Whiskey boys.
talk like this?
Gotta get sultry up in here.
But yeah, I've been doing super cool stuff since I left. I used to be a little shit actually when I left. Destined for jail or rehab.
Well, I think the last time I saw you, or at least the second last time I saw you, was when you were Master Cylinder. You had an extension cord as a belt, and a tall boy can over your penis. Nothing else.
No.
And a megaphone.
Yeah, and it
The
said
megaphone.
boy toy on my chest.
Yeah.
DIY party kit.
So, yeah, Master Cylinder, shout out to all the Frisky Dingo fans.
Shout out.
They don't exist nowadays, but
They're non-existent, but they're there in spirit.
I know. It was very sad. Did you hear why that show got canceled?
No.
Like, why? Okay, so Matt Milero and the other guy, I can't remember his name right off the bat, but anyway, the two producers of that show, the people that did everything, they did the first two seasons, and then they had a break, and then while they were like storyboarding the third season,
Sued.
One of them legit lost his mind. He went like fucking
Stupid crazy.
shit on the walls, fucking whatever. He just had a breakdown. He ended up fucking off and like flying away to the other side of the world, sending postcards to all his friends being like, "Don't follow me." Yeah, he was just like, "I'm out." And so everybody was scrambling, being like, "Well, what are we gonna do? Like, we can't continue with Frisky Dingo without." So it just became this like, oh fuck. So Archer was born.
And Archer, actually,
Yeah.
believe it or not, Sterling Archer was a character that is based half on me and half on James Bond. I'm not even joking. You can ask my mother. She says that I talk exactly like Archer when I'm hammered, and I'm also an asshole. And call my voicemail right now.
Oh, actually, yeah. Let's do that. Fucking throw it on the microphone because
Okay.
you trolled Callie so hard earlier. You did. You got her. She stormed over to the table and just like slammed her phone down. It was just like, if you call Mikey and this happens, just fucking hang up. All right.
I knew I'd get her so bad too. I'm like, Callie, she's so stupid. She'll get this.
Okay.
Do I have to push decline right away, right?
No, you don't have to. Yeah, don't do anything. I'm just gonna put this up to the
Alright.
thing.
And just keep your phone away from the mic or whatever. So it's like, yeah.
Wait,
If
my
it's
name's
gonna call,
Mike.
I don't know. I'm standing.
Whoa.
There it is. Okay. Uno momento. It's 4 rings.
Put it on speakerphone. You gotta hear the ring too. My voice smells of shit.
Hello? Hey, how's it going? Just hanging out. My mom's having a couple beers. What are you up to? Oh, hang on a sec. Hang on. I'm in the basement. I've got, like, no reception. You're cutting out. Hang on. Hang on. One sec. Almost there. Hang on.
Elaborate voicemail. Yeah.
Flawless.
She was mad. she told me, she's like, if you call Mikey and it says anything about I'm in the basement, hold on. Just hang up.
Just hang up right
hang
away. No, I've been purposely not answering my phone all day. Just
No, I know. When I called you, when it went to voicemail and I heard that, I was like, I bet he's sitting on the couch being like,
asshole.
I'm not going to answer this.
I'm not even joking. I was like sitting there staring at my fucking phone. Dude, I gotta strip one of these things. Got too many hoodies on.
Good. At least I know it's getting a little bit warm in here with some bodies, because when I was doing like some preliminary tests, it was like, it's kind of cold in this basement. Anyway, welcome to the podcast studio. This is our first. It's probably not going to be the first one we release. Well, no, I'll probably release this one as the first, like, just whatever.
Show it to my mom.
Your mom.
Look,
Can
I
you
didn't
come
do
over and
I didn't
watch
do
it?
a bunch of chores today, and if she thinks that I bailed to like not do a radio show,
it'll.
You catch my drift on this one.
I'll give you the words that you can put in a search bar that will take you to this video.
You know what it's like to be
high
grounded at 27 years old?
I don't actually.
Are you even 27?
I just turned 30.
Old balls.
I'm not old balls.
About to
Balls are
turn
still quite
27.
young.
His balls are so old.
What were we talking about? Stop talking about my balls. Yeah, they're all chapped. Okay, no, we were on a tangent.
thing right now.
I fucked it up with the voicemail thing. I'm sorry, but
Well, it was also Dave like texting back and
We were talking about Archer.
whatever. It is.
oh yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah,
Dingo.
Disky Fringo.
And I also need some Axe body spray because I smell like a dick.
No, you know what the great thing about video podcasts are? No smell.
No
You
For
can't,
the audience.
viewers can't smell shit.
What about if they have a smell-o-vision?
Oh no,
That's coming
yeah. I
next
don't
year.
think that's invented yet.
Shout out to I don't know. Nobody. I'm fucking drunk.
Yeah, this has been our day to set up the entire studio, do all the tests, and drink a lot of beer.
This cup's never been empty.
I didn't expect you. Well, I mean, I knew you were coming to town. I didn't expect you to be
Never-ending
here today.
chalice.
Really?
Well, I guess I did. I just wasn't thinking of it. I've been obsessed with this. I've been like furiously trying to set this up and make sure.
You picked the first guest to be the best first guest.
Yeah, well, it kind of fell into my
Between
lap.
me and David Bowie. It was like- he wasn't available.
No, yeah, the flights were a little expensive.
There's blackout dates. Do you know what that means? When I read the rules in WestJet, they're like,
blackout dates just simply mean you don't
have to
enough
black
money.
out. No. Blackout dates mean I wasn't allowed to fly because I'm a bitch. I have to fly back first class. I don't know what. Well, they give you booze as soon as you show up. Oh, actually, I'm gonna give you some travel tips after this too, right? But they said so. WestJet says I'm not allowed to travel back between the 14th and the 1st. So they're blackout dates, and I was like, perfect. Well, as soon as I get to Alberta, I'm gonna get a shit ton of alcohol, and for the next 2 weeks, I'm just gonna black out.
Because apparently it's cheap here compared to
It's
British
stupidly
Columbia.
cheap. I bought a 60-pack of beer for $58.
That's not. I don't know. That doesn't. After being like going to the States every summer,
Yeah.
you go down there and you're like, oh,
baby
a
steps, bro.
60
Baby
pack for
steps.
$28. Oh my god.
Baby steps.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, like a Texas
But-
Mickey of Grey Goose or whatever.
so-
It's like $600
Yeah, with a
bucks. Here,
handle
it's
on
like
it, with a fucking
150.
handle.
There,
But I have a team. Yeah, I have a team of travel agents. My friend Jade and my friend April, and they're super chill. Like they help me with all my travel arrangements, and they tell me all the ways that I can kind of cheat the TSA
Yeah, you were
system.
telling me about like how
It's
they
so cool. Like
teaching you the most efficient
the efficient way
way
to travel.
to get incredibly intoxicated on your flight.
So when you take a 1-hour flight from Calgary to Vancouver, you are only allowed to have one drink. You can only buy one drink, and it's about $8, and it sucks dick. Can we say sucks dick on the area?
You can say anything you want.
Sucks dick.
Honestly,
it
this
sucks dick.
I'm a complete advocate to the fact that this is almost further than non-censored. Like I would prefer.
It's almost obscene if
especially
nothing
this is going
obscene
to fit into
happens.
our like I don't know the tentative name is just like the fuck around category. Just
Yeah.
like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Just come home, shoot the shit, talk
shooting.
about whatever.
Yeah.
Strange cheetahs, lions eating shit on the screen, whatever. There's no rules. If you're worried about swearing, maybe we should just stop now.
Fuck, stop it, man. But anyways, my travel agent advised me. She says, so when you travel, you're not allowed to carry anything more than 100 milliliters of liquid in a bottle. So she told me, she advised me, go buy a bunch of those little tiny bottles of booze. And you can literally take them in your carry-on. Then as soon as you get through the security checkpoint, you go to like, you know, if they have like a Subway or a Tim Hortons, and then you buy a couple bottles of pop. Then when you get on the plane, they give you one complimentary drink of pop and some peanuts. Don't get the peanuts; they will make you soberer.
It'll fucking.
But what you're gonna want to
If you've got
do?
that much alcohol in your system at that point, I don't think peanuts are gonna fuck.
I'm not even joking. The TSA guy is even like, "Oh, I like your fucking style." Like, beat the system. So yeah, next time you travel, just remember, 100 mils or less, you can carry whatever you want, even if it's
much as you
liquid drugs.
Straight GHB. That would not go well.
Do you know what it's
Yeah.
like to date
Gee,
rape
holding on a
yourself
plane
at fucking
and-
10,000 miles in the sky?
No, it sounds like an overdose. That sounds like you're gonna die.
I entered the Mile High Club when I G-holed in the bathroom with my pants down to my ankles.
Man, that's actually my biggest regret in terms of like we've been to Burning Man twice
It's my
now.
biggest dream.
No, we've been to Burning Man twice now, and at the end of the first burn, we met a pilot. His name was Fractal, and he basically like he had a little pin, and apparently like 8 or 9 pilots throughout the festival, they've got little pins. It's called Mile High Captain, and no word of a lie, he was just like he's a voyeur. He just likes watching people. Really? Dude. Shake it off. Anyway. So his thing was that he liked taking people up in his plane to fly around Burning Man. He'd take people up in his little plane, and he would he liked watching people screw in the back of his plane.
That's weird.
It's not really weird. I mean, there's weirder things.
Well, whatever squashes your gourd.
Well, no, okay, like you can go to the airport at Burning Man, right? And you like, there's no money. It's a gifting economy. A lot of
Who gave these hippies airplanes?
it's true.
I sent another Pearl Harbor hat in Vegas.
With Pearl Harbor in Gerlach, Nevada. No, okay, so like a lot of them, they'll take you up. If you want to bring your camera, they'll take you up to fly around Black Rock City and do a photo shoot, and that's kind of like their gift to people at Burning Man, right? They're just free flights. That's their gift. But some people
Give
like
you
to
free
take
nitrous.
Well, yeah, no, most people give you free
Yeah.
nitrous, but like
All you want.
you get in a plane every so often you find a pilot that literally he's kind of a dirty old man, but you can get in the plane, you can join the Mile High Club over Burning Man.
You just gotta do it.
Yeah, and like we kind of like we went to the airport at the end of the first Burning Man, and we were too late. We literally just bumped into him when he was like, "That was my last flight. I don't have enough fuel. I gotta save it to get out of here." Right? And we were like, "Oh man!" And this year we went, and we dicked around the whole festival. Granted, almost every day was a fucking dust storm. This year was bad. There was not a lot of flying. There was not a lot of
bugs this year.
No, there was not any bugs. Actually, that's not true. I saw a moth. I saw one black moth.
Somebody made it sound like there was like an elaborate fucking...
No, you know why? The story about that was that while they were out there early and they were like surveying and plotting the site and building the effigy and building the temple, Gerlach had a lot of rain during the spring and summer. So there was a lot of greenery in Gerlach, the town right outside of Burning Man. Right. And for a very brief moment, there was a ton of grass and a ton of greenery just outside of the playa, and there was a lot of bugs. And while the fucking effigy and the temple were being built, of course they're working 24/7 out there in the middle of the desert, and they have massive work lights, right? So the bugs are sitting out there on the grass way out in Gerlach, and they're looking out in the middle of the desert being like, oh my god, it's heaven. So there was a flock of bugs, like tons of bugs that made their way out at night and got out to the build site. And that's why, like, it wasn't a lie. When people were texting pictures, I mean, there was a ton of troll, there was a ton of pictures of just like total bullshit, but there was a few pictures that were pretty legit of being like, yeah, there's tons of bugs out here, they're swarming the lights, and it's really weird because it's in the middle of the desert. But by the time Burning Man started, all those bugs were just like, fuck this, there's no water out here, this is bullshit, this is a crappy party.
It's like, you guys want to hell?
They literally all of the bugs fucked off. So there was, by the time the Burning Man started, there was nothing there. But one thing that we noted was that we did see a moth flying around, which I assume probably came in on someone's vehicle, because I don't think a moth could really fly from Gerlach to fucking Black Rock City. Yeah. And we did see a black swallow flying around, and at first it was weird, like the way that it was flying, it was like flap 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 dive, flap 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 dive, flap 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 dive.
Like it was tired.
And for some reason it looked as if it was like animatronic. It looked as if it was a fucking robot or something, like a drone.
Yeah.
So I was looking at this bird being like, that doesn't look real, and we were like kind of following it around for 10 minutes being like, is that a real bird? Is it? And yeah, eventually we were like, yeah, that's a real bird. What the hell's it doing out here? There was no bugs. It was just, burners love jumping on whatever and then just
following
like
the Facebook post,
which actually is it's like one part extremely hilarious and one part extremely a pain in your ass, and you're constantly trying to fight between like, do I love Burning Man?
Right?
Or do I hate Burning Man?
If it weren't for Burning Man, we wouldn't have people eating kale and fucking granola, and people would still be down with GMOs, as far as I'm concerned. No, dude, come on.
Just straight blaming on Burning Man.
For real. Open your mind, man. No, fuck that.
Wait, have you ever been?
No, I'm not allowed.
I think
in the
you
States.
should go.
I'm not allowed in the States. You know this.
You were. Oh yeah, I guess. Get that dealt with.
No.
It's worth it.
I don't like sand.
Incredible. It's not even sand.
It's playa. It's like
playa.
super sand.
It is. It's essentially
like the
micro-
dick of
Get
sand.
in all the nooks and crannies that
Gets in
sand
your
wouldn't
everything.
otherwise infiltrate.
Could you imagine getting laid at that festival? It's like, oh, I've got sand in my
I
cooter.
have to imagine.
Yeah,
I don't have a. Yeah.
You showered.
What, at Burning Man?
Yeah.
Never.
Hobo shower, baby wipes.
Just to get a fucking
Essential
hippie
for
guy to
areas.
start, get a hippie guy to just start peeing on you.
Oof.
Some people, dude, I was at Base Coast, I saw a guy drink his piss. He was just like, this rules, it's awesome. And
Have you never seen Waterworld?
No.
Kevin Costner?
Kevin, God. No, didn't see Waterworld.
Girls.
Didn't see that.
All right, new subject, fresh subject. Because apparently we're trailing off.
Drink it.
Well,
So
yeah,
are you
travel
staying?
tips.
Are you staying in Vancouver?
Yeah, I am staying.
That's your life.
I
now?
live in Vancouver. I'm staying in Calgary until New Year's Eve, when the Genesa series has their sweet New Year's Eve party.
Which apparently
I'm wearing a suit
you're going
to.
to rent a ballin' suit for. With rent.
I'm just gonna write suit on a white T-shirt.
That's not part of the deal.
No. There's one thing I've learned about deals. There's always a loophole. Okay. Suit is a very very loose
ambiguous
term. Okay. Suit can mean birthday suit.
Yeah.
Suit can mean tuxedo T-shirt. Suit can mean fucking show up with a fucking 4 cards. Be like, look, I showed up with a suit.
All clubs, bitch. Yeah. Well,
You want to do
like
shots?
I said, no. I'm good. The party,
When in doubt.
like, I can't let everyone in for free.
Can let me in for free.
No.
I used to bootleg for your wife when she was a minor. If anything,
How many times? Once?
A lot.
Yeah,
I was like
probably.
the guy. I was like the guy in the park that was old
it's
enough
too
to
bad
get
she's
booze.
not here.
I
She
literally,
would
I
tell me
text
so
her.
much
I text her. I was like, you need to fucking. I bootleg for you. She's like, that's a Tanner problem. I'm like, well, you better give him some money then, because if anything, Callie's gonna
How
pay
about
for my
this?
ticket.
How about this? Either you come in a ball and suit, like fresh cut, looking dapper as fuck. You walk in for free, or you walk in with one person
Dan Taylor.
that will buy a ticket.
Dan Meyer.
You're throwing him under the bus. Just like, buy my ticket and I'll get in free. No, if you can, I don't know, if you can just like find a friend that would like to come that we may not have reached otherwise.
Like Eric or Chad?
No, you. Eric's part of our crew. Chad, I don't know. Chad might come.
Am I not part of your crew? Have we not crewed before?
I'm sorry. We picked the most obscure
Hey, you
visuals.
suck. You didn't. I would have put a bunch of tits and like boats flipping over. Some action.
Probably par for the course, but
Gun scenes. Car crashes.
fucking Fear and Loathing.
Car crashes.
Let's go find Fear and Loathing. Okay, you guys carry on the conversation. Let's switch up the visuals.
Alex,
you
you want to drink out of my giant Bubba Sport cup?
Oh, it's a
Sport
little
Bubba.
intimidating. I don't know if I'm ready.
It's intimidating as fuck. Trust me. I'm literally.
Were you mixing Clamato in there? Is that what?
Yeah.
Have you ever had Clamato and beer?
Yeah, I didn't
Called
like it.
It's called the Dirty
Sorry.
Mikey.
Maybe it's like when I went down to Burning Man, we ended up buying a bunch of those like Budweiser Clamato. I forget what they're
The
called. but-
chiladas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were gross.
Have you guys ever
Yeah,
had?
They
chiladas,
ruined
I think-
it.
I don't know. I like those.
Have you ever had a Four Loco?
No,
They're really bad and stay away from them. They sell them at Dave's Liquor Store on 16th Avenue, by the way. Calgary, Alberta. They're $4.
Plug it to Dave. Well, what's
Tell me about the fucking golf shoes.
Okay, hold on. We gotta go back to the start of
Well,
that scene.
I guess you're about ready then. Get in.
Wait, this
the trailer?
It says it's an hour and 58.
Well,
Nice.
he lied to you.
Oh,
head.
motherfucker.
What are you doing?
213,
It says
man.
it's a preview, so let's just hold on. Everybody just calm down.
Everybody just
calm
be
down.
cool.
I'm really mad right now.
Whoa, we actually did more than
pissed.
half an hour. Do you want to keep going?
Should.
Could.
May as well.
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeah.
And we're back.
So we had travel tips once upon a time. That's what you're getting at.
Travel
you gave
tips.
like one.
Oh,
maybe
okay.
two.
Another travel tip I can give you is if you're like me and you like to
man,
take
it's
the
a
scenic
preview.
route in life. Sometimes I like to take the Greyhound from Alberta to BC because of the fact that it stops in smaller towns and that you can have an
single place
opportunity
ever.
to smoke a little medical cannabis if you feel so inclined to. I like that too, and I like how it's just a lot cooler driving through the mountains, to be honest. Like, it's a really fucking
bullshit.
rad feeling to do that as
Oh, yeah.
opposed to like flying over Calgary sucks because it's just like
Yeah, it's
you
nothing
see
special.
you see the sick mountains leaving fucking Van, and it's awesome. And then you go over this patch where it's just like
Flat.
fucking you see a bunch
Usually
of clouds,
brown.
and then all of a sudden you're just like you see a city dying, and then you're in Calgary. You see a
Dark.
bunch of smokestacks coming out of industrial areas, and then a bunch of like police fucking lights flashing in different areas of the city. You're like, yeah, I'm home.
Yeah.
Home.
480, fuck.
That's most cities really.
Just
Next
type-
time, I'll
Tanner,
make
just
sure.
type in tits. See what happens.
It's not happening.
Tits compilation.
Nope.
Nope. 10 hours of tits. Stream.
Not on YouTube.
Yeah.
Put on 8 Mile.
Nope. We got Waking Life.
Mom Spaghetti. This message brought to you in part by Mom Spaghetti.
Oh.
You know what my mom told me the other day? She said that I was exactly like Charlie from fucking It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She's like, you're dyslexic.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's so much more like shrill and
too
peppy.
much noise.
He's so,
Wild card.
yeah, totally. Wild Card describes him like a
Kitten mittens.
Kitten mittens. Yeah. I don't know.
Do you sniff glue on the regs
You're
with Danny
similar.
DeVino?
You're similar. You share traits, but I don't think that you're that.
Sometimes I just like to spray air sock, spray paint into a sock, and yeah.
That's it. We party.
We all
up in
have our
Houston.
demons, okay? I'm just really tight friends with mine. We're like this.
Yeah.
I've wrestled my demons. I've made them pay my bar tab.
Oh man.
I think next time we do a show, you should get Boxcar here.
I don't know.
Nah. Both
Yeah?
you guys in the same
Yeah.
room together? Nah. We're so funny.
Yeah, well, you guys would just take over though. Like we would just sit as
You'd
spectators.
just be in the back. Just like you guys would be in the back, just like.
Hence why the extra long
God.
tablecloth.
Yeah, extra long tablecloth.
Thank God, Alex Gray.
Fuck's sakes.
Oh, sorry, Osmosis Jones. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember where I heard this, but apparently there's like Victorian times, right? There's so much sexual repression afoot that like they insisted on having really long tablecloths on all their tables because they're so worried that like the exposure of a table leg.
If I
would
see
get
you,
people
if
hot
I
and
see your
bothered.
ankle, I'm gonna
Really?
call you a
Yeah.
slut.
What kind of world was that? Like
A very, very
Unsexy.
BO filled
oh yeah, the
fucking rotting meat spice.
perfume was born in
Yeah.
that era, right? Yeah, because
And that's why there's a lot of spices being imported. Why it's such a huge industry. is
They
because,
didn't
like,
even
a lot
have
of the meat,
Axe
like,
body spray.
They didn't have refrigeration, right? So in order to like get rid of the spoil, sort of aroma and whatnot.
just hit it with the fire.
They didn't even have Axe body spray. I don't even know how.
Yeah,
people
right?
got laid back then.
Whoa.
Like really, brought to you by Axe body spray.
Nintendo, give me free shit.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Hey, we
No
have a
affiliation.
Carl's Jr. in Calgary now.
Yeah, it tastes
Do you
exactly
know
like
that?
Burger King. Have you noticed that?
I have
Have
not
you
been
gone
there.
there and
I
been
have-
like, whoa, that's
I've
exactly.
never
I
gone
have
to Kelowna.
self-respect. I have not been there. No, that's not true. I'm probably gonna go there soon.
I don't
No,
need-
the food is wicked, but the service sucks. At least
No,
the
I
one
hear
that I've been
In-N-Out
to.
Burger. Like every time. Dude, this is bullshit.
Speaking of
This is
In-N-Out,
bullshit. I didn't agree to this.
speaking of In-N-Out, go on.
Go on.
We'll edit it out using digital stuff.
Fix it in post, bro.
It smells like chips.
Bye, Austin. Write to us.
I didn't even have chips. Yep. Ketchup chips. What the fuck? I can taste it.
What? How long ago did you have ketchup chips? I've been with you like 5 hours at least.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't even have chips, and I smell chip fart. Yeah.
Sour cream and onion.
So in case you're wondering, we're not really taking this very seriously. It's no. In a sense, we are.
Super cereal.
This is
We're
homework.
treating it
This
serious.
is very
but
serious.
We're not.
We are
acting serious.
learning a lot from this on who not to bring as a future guest.
Cheers.
Fill out application forms.
Super good to have you.
Yeah, dude,
I'm glad that it could be like in this context.
I think we need to get me a ticket to this party tonight because I miss you guys and I need to party with you guys. I have to. I've literally been sitting in my mom's cranky cold basement.
I thought you said you wanted your mom to listen to this.
Yeah, I want to listen to that.
Literally talking shit.
Drugs.
Alright, I
You
think
knew this
we're
was
so
gonna
far off the
You
rails.
knew this was gonna... What, you're talking about rails now? Jesus Christ. You know, as a Methodist, I don't think this is tight. I don't even know what that means. We're First Baptist.
Seventh Day
Only
Adventist.
First time.
First time.
First time.
So, when do you come back to Calgary next time?
I'm already here.
No. I know you're leaving.
bro.
But it's been 3 years?
4.
No. been 4 years since I've seen you?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Back when I was a derelict little shit with no goals and views in life.
No, it's got to be 3.5 or something.
3.5.
Because
Oh.
that night that you were running around Master Cylinder,
Yeah.
I remember that night well.
You know you came to Van since then, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
we
okay,
went
I've
to
seen
a
you since then,
costume
right.
store and we got wine drunk in the back of your.
Did you? No, but you didn't come with us with Vanessa to that. Did you?
Yeah.
In the back of her car? Right, okay.
And then you guys.
Yeah.
You guys were cranky.
Cranky?
You and Callie were cranky because
Oh, yeah. Some weird shit happened that night.
too much wine, not enough. Too much wine.
No, yeah. I definitely remember that outing. I do miss Vancouver. I always have the prospect to go to Vancouver after every festival, like circuit. On our last festival, we always just want to fuck off out to Vancouver.
It's a place to be.
But it's just, you literally have to weigh, you've been through your summer, you've expended your entire like nest egg
And then
whatever,
go
right?
and then go hang out in the most expensive city in Western
Exactly.
Canada
And
after.
just
like,
to get there and back is like the extra kilometers and miles. And we usually can't do it because the past like 2-3 years we've been going to California and Nevada and stuff during our outing. So
I say this year you guys should do the festival circuit in BC. A lot of
how
my
come you
friends-
don't come to Base Coast?
I was at Base Coast last year.
Oh, last year we were not there because Callie's mom got married that weekend.
I wigged out and I took a bunch
Have
of
you-
Xanax and slept the whole festival. I'm not even joking.
That sucks.
I had such an anxiety attack.
Have you been
that-
to Base Coast before that?
No. The
No?
Mutiny one?
So
No.
the one that you
Yeah.
go to is the one that I didn't go
Well,
to.
because my ex showed up there with her boyfriend, and for some reason I just wigged out. I was just not having it. So I didn't leave my camp the whole time, and I just I missed all the acts, I missed everything. I sat at my camp, and I
Yeah.
Xanax just fucked. And that shit's legal, so I can say it on the radio.
What even is Xanax?
Xanax is like the fucking unicorn of anti-anxiety pills. It's like,
Oh,
cause you're only supposed to.
it's a crutch.
It looks like it's a blanket. It's not a crutch. It's not a crutch. Crutches help you up. This kind of keeps you down, and you don't move, and you're like, yeah.
Okay, at Shambhala, I think it was 3 years ago at Shambhala, I was walking around. I mean, like Shambhala, you get people coming up to you all the time, and you're just like, hey, can you help me find something, right? It's like, yeah,
Fuck off.
whatever. But for the first time ever, and it was actually really surprising to me, and I know this isn't surprising to you because of that fucking picture of you walking around with a sign looking for opium or pussy.
No, I was looking for pussy and
Yeah,
drugs.
Pussy and drugs, yeah. But somebody comes up to me at Shambhala, and he bumps into me, and he like takes me aside, and he was like, I hope I'm not offending you by saying this, but can you find me some fucking heroin right now? I really need some heroin. And I remember just being like,
Dude.
what the fuck is heroin going around like a music festival
Dude, they were
for?
giving away crack pipes at the harm reduction tent and needles and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like the little, I know.
Tubes and shit.
Yeah, I understand that, but why would you make the trek
Without your own heroin.
to Shambhala? No, why would you make the trek? Why would you do heroin? Why would you do something like that at a music festival where like you've gone all this way to this thing and then you're just gonna go there and just like unplug and disconnect and you're just gonna like float away? Like
to
what
a
the
lot of
fuck is the
people
point?
that,
Why don't you just do that at home?
A lot of people that like do heroin, it's actually like I myself I haven't done heroin, but I've done opium and I've smoked it, and it's actually a really cool, chill experience. And like heroin is just the more refined. It's more.
Heroin's just the fucking top tier. Like morphine is essentially heroin.
Morphine's awesome. Like I've never
Never
done
had,
it recreationally, but I went to the hospital one time and I was in a lot of pain, and then all of a sudden they blasted me full of it, and I was literally like a 2-year-old. Like I was like
Yeah.
the nurse had to chase me around the hospital with the wheelchair.
Yeah. Well, morphine is just essentially like magic.
It's morphine time.
It's magic. Like people get addicted to it as often as heroin
Yeah, it's
because it's who was it? It was fucking Joey Diaz that was describing that heroin and morphine are actually very similar. Like they're almost the exact same.
you get like a
chemical
cold feeling
compound.
in your fucking
They're
vein.
just
Yeah.
heroin is like just level 2.
Yeah.
But they're essentially the exact same chemical makeup, and it's super addictive. And it's like
It's not a comfortable thing to be on. Like I can imagine being on heroin at a fucking music festival, like getting the itch and the like.
yeah. Well,
the, like-
even Callie and I were watching like this whole podcast studio doubles as or it originated as the movie theater, right? We got the projector screen and the projector and the seats. So we were watching Alien 3 here last night, right? Callie trademark fell asleep through the fucking movie, which is a pain in the ass, but
Typical.
typical. But Clemens, the character, he goes into like a section where he talks about how, you know, he was a doctor and he got addicted to heroin. And I've heard this story actually a lot between like people in the professional industry getting addicted to, sorry, not heroin, morphine.
Yeah,
right? Getting addicted to morphine as like when you have access to it, it's super dangerous and a lot of people go down for it.
Or even like oxycodone or whatever. It's like it's basically
oxys.
synthetic, like.
Well, oxys you can get over the counter if you have a prescription, right?
Yeah, but it's essentially also supposed to be like very, very.
If I was a
very-
doctor,
not the
I'd
same thing,
opiates,
just in
right?
different. Yeah.
If I was a doctor and I had access to stuff, I would probably full on do ketamine.
Well, okay, actually, there's a podcast that I want you to listen to. There's like a, I won't mention it right now, but it's like goes into somebody that he's actually very well versed in using ketamine in the medical realm, and I learned some really cool things about ketamine. Like that is apparently ketamine is a super wonder drug for the military. They adore it because look, get this.
Ketamine. It's first response. So
Yeah,
it's
first response
like
for
fucking,
injuries. If you have to go through an amputation on like on the battlefield,
I'll do it right there.
ketamine, as opposed to what they used before, which would have been what, morphine?
Yeah,
They
like
would use
high
morphine, right?
levels of
So
morphine.
high levels of opiates can kill you, right? Like if you're on the battlefield and you lose a leg and you need to have an amputation done on the field, apparently the reason that ketamine is so big in the military is because morphine as the standardized drug was you'd risk stopping the person's heart, you'd risk killing them.
Yeah.
But ketamine, you can blast a soldier full of ketamine. They just literally space right out. And the biggest plus is that it maintains they maintain their airway breathing.
And it maintains your heart rate.
Yeah,
Like,
it
doesn't
maintains
go
your
up
heart
or
rate
down,
and your airway. They will go straight up to fucking Pluto mentally, but their body will maintain all
your
of the automated
subconscious functions, whatever, still intact.
And you can amputate a limb without them feeling it on the battlefield. So ketamine is a wonder
It's the
drug out
best,
there.
like-
And actually, that podcast kind of alluded to the fact that the stigma or the stereotype that ketamine started out as a cat tranquilizer or a horse tranquilizer.
The
It's just
general
total bullshit.
anesthetic.
Yeah, it started out like it was developed alongside things like PCP for positive reasons, for like medical science.
Well, it was actually
And-
late 80s, like when that Desert Storm shit happened. That's when it started coming out of its shell.
And it sucks because that kind of thing in medical science has an amazing application. It's as valuable as penicillin for what it needs, for what it was designed to do.
Yeah.
But you get shitheads who steal it and sell it on the market or manufacture it, or like even things like MDMA. Just all these things that were developed for really positive and constructive reasons, and that could
get
have
bastardized, yeah.
incredible like positive outcomes on people's lives, and they get ruined by the underground. They get ruined by people who are just
abusing them or whatever, or just
they sell
misusing
it,
them.
they make it manufactured illegally, or they do it irresponsibly, and that's why like I'm passionate about the education side of festivals, like educating people.
How many
that,
hoops does MAPS have to jump through just to test like MDMA on PTSD studies and all that kind of stuff?
And like you said with PTSD, like I've suffered from PTSD for years,
have I.
and I think there is a huge line between drug use and drug abuse, and like my friend, actually you know him, Bill Coyle.
yeah, Bill.
Fucking super cool guy, and he was the one that taught me. He's like, if you're gonna do anything, don't just do anything recklessly, because it's reckless and it's not cool. He's like, he explained to me. He's like, setting, and intent. So like, make sure you're in the right setting. Make sure you have a purpose behind you indulging. You know, like don't just recklessly take stuff, or it's not gonna have its purpose, and you're just chasing a dragon.
Yeah.
And he's true. Like there's been times that I've gone home. And I've put on some really cool like low vibration music and like just chilled out in my bed, and I've done a little bit of ketamine, and I've actually had a very like introspective.
That's the big
cool
difference
time.
between doing it on a.
But when you do it at a party, you're just a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Everyone looks at you
you're in an overstimulation environment, and you're augmenting your reality, and that's kind of like that's the kick for a lot of people. But if you look at what Albert Hoffman, the man who designed.
I really.
No.
I'm so sorry. I have to pee.
Go in the can!
Yeah, go nuts. It's at the end of the hall there, or up the stairs.
I was gonna do it, but I can't.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Lunch bag let
So
down.
when I come back, I'm screaming, and we're back.
If you look at like what Albert Hoffman designed, like the basis in which the trials and like the reason that LSD was rediscovered and like applied to like science and it was such a beautiful thing, man. It could have been, and it still could be, incredibly useful to people that need it. But
Well, it's so neat. Like, there's so much more coverage, like just in the news and like even on places like CNN or whatever. There's guys coming out and they're just like, you know, it could be anyone from Steve Jobs to whoever, like just people that I guess other people notice or whatever. And then they're like, yeah, you know, microdosing. Like apparently that whole thing in like in the Silicon Valley, like that's there's a lot of like tech executive professional dudes that are like really high level in that kind of industry.
I've got a friend that I worked with at Motion Notion, and he's currently like just on the cusp of jumping into like a personal trial with microdosing because he's going back to school himself.
Oh, sweet.
And I actually talked to him briefly a bit, and I want to have him on for like a future episode to talk about like what it's like. I mean, it's a different thing. Like a lot of people have that stigma of like, oh, you're doing acid, you're doing LSD.
Yeah.
Like you're just this.
But now it's being kind of like brought out into the foreground in a totally
Yeah.
different light, and they're going, what?
What if you're dosing it in levels where you don't feel it?
Yeah.
And you're just kind of trying to document or pick up on the like visual acuity and like the creative acuity and these
Without
little tiny things.
getting overwhelmed with everything
Like,
else.
I respect that. I really appreciate that level of psychedelic like self
Well, it's almost like
trial.
responsible use in that context as well.
And it's too bad because no matter what, if this person that I'm speaking of were to go and say that he's going to do that to certain people, he's just a write-off. You know, you're just like, oh, you're just a druggie. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not the same thing. Like if you're using, like a lot of these people that will write him off as a druggie, they have the little fucking Monday to Sunday pill thing, and they're taking like 19 different fucking pills.
Or it's like, or how many different like rum and cokes did you have at your corporate Christmas party or whatever? And they're like, oh, I got so silly there, and you're like, well, what's the?
It's a ridiculous fucking stigma that people are always just coming down so hard. Like if drug abuse is a real thing, and it sucks to see it, but I'm really, really curious. I've never conducted any sort of like psychedelic micro dose trial.
Yeah.
But press the button. I kind of feel inclined to, because psychedelics don't scare me. It's not something that like sets me off like a lot of people do. So I really feel like I want to explore what kind of benefits they have in microdoses to just
there's definitely like a totally different set of benefits to something like that as opposed to like doing like a really, really high dose and getting in deep and like just learning all kinds of extremely valuable like life lessons and insights out of that, and like, you know, making tremendous leaps in personal progress and whatnot. But like it's definitely interesting to kind of explore it and all ends of the spectrum. You know, there's like the really deep end and then there's like kind of the shallow end, but like in sort of a responsible, well navigated sort of way. It'd be neat. It's a super fascinating subject for sure if we want to explore it.
Well, I mean, like I've just been recently exploring sensory deprivation tanks, and I very much like I've gotten a handful under my belt sober, but I really want to try microdosing just different psychoactive substances to see what it does to your mind when it's in an isolated environment.
Totally.
Just because it's like a fucking coloring book, man. It's playful. It's intriguing.
You're like laying in there, and it's all silent, and you're like.
Not only is it silent, but you literally, if you stay still.
Who was the bad guy from Tron? And we're back!
Cheers.
Flawless re-entry.
Cheers.
Where's your cheers
Shit,
at?
we're cresting an hour. Oof. That's twice as much time as we wanted to do. Caressing an hour.
Well,
and
let's do the segment where we all drink a shot of whiskey and talk about one thing that we
Okay, well, no, you guys talk. I'm actually going to fucking...
One thing that we want to accomplish in 2016. You go first, Alex.
Shit. I think I'm going to do a barrel roll.
Righteous. I want to clear my criminal record so I can travel.
That seems way more impressive and constructive.
And then do a barrel roll.
Oh, yeah.
Over the border.
Exactly.
Into America.
They're like, fuck, why did we let him in?
See, the kids these days, they don't understand the difference between a barrel roll and a somersault.
Nobody does. Actually, it's fucking stupid.
Well,
So, like, your father before me, you're gonna watch me get pathetically drunk. We started this show sober.
unless
No, we didn't. That is a bold-faced lie.
This used to be about the music. Okay?
nowadays people are making songs that I don't even consider music
I remember when
anymore.
KPPW used to be about fucking freedom, okay?
Freedom!
And now there's a bunch of commercials, and there's Donald Trump bitching about Mexicans.
Yeah, that's never going to stop. I don't think Donald Trump, like all the publicity that he's gotten from running for president, I don't think he's ever going away.
Never.
Somebody's going to have to kill him.
Gonna have to kill him.
I didn't say that
him.
on air.
Allegedly.
Right now. It's not going to be me, but I think that someone will probably kill him.
Tanner Cherry. He's in ISIS.
He looked like a sweet.
And on that
hippie.
note... No.
Well then.
And we're back.
Do you guys want to wrap it up? We've got...
Roll it up. Roll them
We've
up.
definitely got more than an hour.
Yeah.
And
it's
this
pretty-
concludes.
And yeah, this does conclude. Thank you for putting up with us.
Thank you.
This was actually about 35% more fun than I even thought it was going to be. And I had high expectations.
That's a
of
high
formula.
percentage. 100%.
Well, Mikey, outro's up to you. You did the intro.
The outro.
You broke it in. May as well pull out.
Yeah,
Well,
you might as well give us some outro music. We gotta have something. I'll give you some time. If you need some time
yeah,
to-
you guys
to
do your
fix something.
talking.
Yeah,
You do your talking.
I'd like to
I
have
got
some
this. I got this.
proper outro music.
Okay, I got this.
Well, we'll have to make a thing, like an actual.
I know. That's
yeah,
that's
it's
all.
gonna have to be a thing. We're gonna have to edit the farts up.
No! We're gonna have to
No, there's
amplify the farts.
There's only
assuming
one
they
part
were
of this
picked up.
podcast that I'm editing out.
All right. So this concludes the shit that we did today.
It does.
You know what this is. It's the ultimate fuck off song.
Oh yeah.
Happy New Year's, everybody. It's Mike Bender coming to you live from Calgary. Shout out to East Vancouver, all
December
my homies.
19th.
Legendary Hammers, Application Audio. Shout out to PK Sound. Shout out to the Genesa series. Shout out to my mom.
Fucking Genesa.
Whatever. Genesa, Jeanette, whatever. It's fine.
You know, when I put my
Shout out to these dicks.
when I put my Bluetooth headphones on, it says Gensaphone.
Shout out
Because it's like Genesaphone, but it's just like connected to Gensaphone.
Shout out to the
Gene
Jesus
Simmons.
series. So, yeah, this is totally the final countdown. If you find yourself in a terrible place tonight, make sure you call a cab. Don't drive. And also, strip clubs are cool. Stop throwing strippers at loonies. Stop throwing strippers at loonies.
Stop throwing
Stop
lepers
it!
at what?
Lepers at stoonies. Strippers. Loonies at strippers.
Seriously, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys for having
Totally
me very
improv
much.
to have
fucking
fucking
Guinness
Mike
Slice.
Bender as our guest, but
Yeah, you know you have to drink it now.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I knew what I was signing up for.
I'm Walter Cronkite, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
All right. See you guys later. Hey guys, thanks for listening. We didn't actually get any footage from Mikey from his outing at the Mustard Seed cutting hair, as planned, but that's
Sorry
okay.
for all the farts.
Sorry for the farts, of course. You can find Mikey Bender on Instagram as, I think, the Scumbag Barber of East Van. He's probably still under that name. Mm-hmm. Yeah, should look him up. Give him a shout. He's hilarious. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.